Arise News anchor Julian Phillips has spent more than 20 years in front of the camera covering breaking news on the national and international front, but he has never looked as good as he does right now, because he has found another passion behind the scenes in the kitchen, serving up his one-of-a-kind wings and mac and cheese, and it's whetting the appetite, especially here in our office. I've not seen the studio crew this excited since we had Miss USA here, by the way. So,
oh, right.
Julian, you know, we've done a few of these stories about people have worked their whole life in one career and then set out to go do something else, and it usually involves something they are really passionate about. Is that how you got to this path?
Yeah, I've been cooking for about 30 years now, and I've been in some of the kitchens of some of the top chefs in the world: David Pasternak, Billy Gallagher, so on and so forth. Joe Bastianich and Mario Batali actually cooked my 10th wedding anniversary dinner at his restaurant. So this is something I've always wanted to do. So about 15 years ago, I was in a crew car with my cameraman. He says, well, look, if you want to do this, why don't you call it the Soundbite, as of course news. So the quest to, at some point, put together a restaurant with a news theme.
And you wanted to start a restaurant. You haven't been able to get there just yet. It's very expensive, but you found a workaround that's very creative.
Yeah, well, you know, restaurants are volatile anyway, under the best of circumstances. About 7 out of 10 fail. So these days, investors are very wary about getting involved and putting money in them. So a private equity person suggested that, look, you know a lot of restaurateurs. Why don't you partner with one, put your products in there, test it, see how it works, and if that goes well, then you can open up a restaurant.
And you've basically been able to find to do that on Long Island. And so why don't you talk to us a little bit about the wings and the mac and cheese?
Okay, it was almost like a peanut butter and chocolate. I just happened to be experimenting with blackening. It's something that's been around for a long time. Paul Prudhomme was considered the father of blackening in Louisiana. And I started blackening wings. Why? I don't know. But no one really blackens wings. I mean, you very rarely hear of anybody blackening wings. So I tried it. And I started putting taste tests together. From here to North Carolina, people were raving about it. Well, blackened wings, they don't exist anywhere. The thing about blackened wings are they're very healthy. I can take about 15 to 20 pounds of wings and blacken them in about 5 tablespoons of olive oil, just with my patented spices that I put together.
These spices look terrific.
Yeah, you know, I put them together, and right now it's taking off. I put together 4 dipping sauces, which are kind of unusual because you have like Italian, a pesto sauce, garlic, then occasion remoulade sauce.
I'm being told we have to eat it.
Yes.
I'm actually not being told that, but I want to try one anyway. Terrific. Go on.
Okay. So I put together a fusion of Cajun, Southern, and Italian. The full-fledged restaurant will have more in it, but for instance,
this is an amazing. It's the spices in here. You could absolutely taste it come through.
And they're not too spicy. But blackening is a technique. You use a cast iron skillet, just like Grandma used to have, and you just heat it till it gets blazing hot, and then you put just a little bit of oil in it.
So tell me a little bit about how you market it, besides giving your colleagues some of the samples.
Well, you market. Well, I'm marketing it right now.
Because that's really, for small businesses, that's often the key.
Yeah. Marketing is very easy for me in the sense that, being on TV, I have a lot of marketing power. Right now, I have almost every local station, a couple of networks waiting for me to. They were waiting for me to get some real estate to put it on. So in that sense, that's easy for me. But marketing in a small town like Port Washington can be very difficult.
Port Washington is on the North Shore of Long Island,
Yeah, and it's a peninsula town, so therefore you really have to dig your heels in and make sure you get people to come in. So I've been blanketing the whole area with leaflets. And
let me ask you, what is the toughest part about going into this business? Because I also run a small business, as you know, and there are so many obstacles, and you have to have this fire in your belly.
Yeah, well, you have to have a thick skin.
Yeah.
You're going to find more people telling you that you shouldn't do this than you should.
Absolutely.
And you really have to be true to your beliefs. And
you have to be almost delusional.
Oh, well, yeah, and some people say that I am. So the bottom line is, you can't give up on your beliefs. I have a very strong belief in this product, and you really have to find somebody that's willing to partner with you. I mean, many doors were slammed in my face. Even people who love the product say, well, look, you're just not going to make any money off of this.
Tell me a little bit about whether the government helps you in this, if they're putting up obstacles for you. I imagine in the food business there are tons of regulations potentially.
Well, there are. And in New York City it can be very daunting. The government, the federal government, you have the SBA, but there are a lot of obstacles to that.
Sure.
They say they can give you money, but you have so much red tape. And of course, there's this other program called EB-5, where there are foreigners who want a visa, and if you have a business where you have 10 or more employees for 2 years, they can can invest either with $500,000 to more than that. But there's a lot of red tape that could take anywhere from 6 months to a year.
And they're talking to me about the mac and cheese. A quick little explainer on the mac and cheese.
The mac and cheese,
which has shrimp in it, which is very interesting.
Yeah, mac and cheese is very popular these days, but I have a basic Southern mac and cheese, but I also have it smoked. And how do I smoke it? I use certain smoked spices to make it that has that smoky taste to it. I use a lot of cheese, a lot of milk, a lot of eggs, a lot of butter. It's not healthy. The wings are healthy, but the mac and cheese is not.
But it fills your stomach. Good comfort food.
It fills your stomach, and I think it's something that just won't go away.
Julian, best of luck. All
Well,
right, let's have a glass of wine. Is nothing better than drinking on the air.
Absolutely.
Okay. Let's take a quick look at the markets and finish. And Julian Phillips, thank you so much for spending some time with us. I'm Andrew Schmertz. That's been watching Arise Exchange. Julian is terrific.